Hello and welcome back to Seaside Garage and the Citroën BX, my daily driver. At the moment I am currently considering some other options because I have an XM and the Twingo. So if you're new to the channel, you probably wonder why change the car if you like it. That's how I roll. Anyway, I have an issue with the BX that has been haunting me for quite a while and it's been really annoying. It was supposed to give me decent fuel economy and decent performance. It's a 1.4, but it doesn't feel slow, especially not on the small roads. The thing is, I'm getting the same fuel economy from this one as I did from my S123 Mercedes-Benz station wagon, 3-liter turbo diesel that is. It's currently returning around 11 kilometers on a liter, which is this in other kinds of measurements. I was expecting at least 14 kilometers on a liter. Actually, it was better to begin with. It's gotten worse over time. But I have had a couple of wild goose chases on this one. I was pretty sure to begin with that it was the throttle potentiometer. They are known to be bad on these. If they don't work right, it will not know where the throttle is. And it's not a very complicated injection system. This is quite basic. It got a RPM sensor. It got a throttle positioning sensor. It got an O2 sensor. It doesn't have a mass airflow sensor or anything like that, so it's calculated up by those very basic inputs. So if that throttle potentiometer wasn't working, it wouldn't know where it was and it would just overfuel like crazy. I thought that was the case because it's a very known issue. So I changed that. Quick tip, if you need to change that on a car like this, you can get them from a Golf. I think I got a picture of the spare part right here. It's dirt cheap. If you buy the one that is supposed to go on the Citroën, it's out of stock, and if you find them, they will be very expensive, but it's the same part. It's driving with the Golf one at the moment. It drives exactly the same as before, which is good because it wasn't the actual problem. Then I went down another rabbit hole with the O2 sensor. I did some measurements and didn't really like the measurements that I was seeing on the O2 sensor. I'm still puzzled about that, but it didn't give me the correct voltages. It is supposed to go up and down and vary with a middle point around 0.5 volts, so they're about 0.6 maybe. Mine was way higher, but it also spiked a lot all the way to 12 volt, which made me believe that maybe the heater circuit and the sensoring circuit was shorted out. So I changed the O2 sensor and was all, yeah, now it's gonna work exactly the same as before. The thing is, it drives perfectly. It got quite a lot of power, at least more than I was expecting. The only drivability issue there is that when it's really cold and I start it up, especially if it's really wet and cold outside, it will hesitate a couple of minutes into the driving. It will hesitate a little bit and then it will go away. That's the only drivability issue that I'm having. But then the weather got really cold. We got -5 degrees at the moment, and I drove back home from the town, like 40 kilometers away. I struggled to heat up the cabin. When I got this car, I did notice that the heater wasn't that good. It was pretty much the same as the S123, which is not that great either. I just thought that maybe they're not very good. I think it's a known thing about the BX that the heater is not great. So I didn't think much of it. But now that it's really cold, I really struggle to heat up the cabin. If I put it on full blower, it will almost become cold. If I just put a little bit of a breeze, it can still maintain some kind of heat coming out of the vents. Normally you would expect head gasket issues when this happens because of an air pocket in the heater matrix, but there is none on this one. And when I arrived back home, I went out and opened up the bonnet and touched the coolant hoses. They were lukewarm. The valve cover was cold. I could pretty much touch the exhaust manifold. It was really cold outside, but I think I have a massive issue with the coolant system, which is a bit opposite than what I normally deal with, because this is not overheating, this is overcooling. There is a very big possibility, and I will find out today, that I'm just struggling with a stock or maybe even missing thermostat, because I haven't touched that at any point in this revival of this car. Small note, I also checked the thermostat sensor. It's working right, but I haven't measured what it's actually measuring while driving. I just know that it's responding the correct way when it heats up and so on, and the resistance is correct. But if it never gets hot enough to go out of the open loop thing, it will think it's cold and it will be running choke conditions all the time. Enough talking. I think it's time to dig in and see if there's anything wrong with that thermostat, and if not, then I'm completely lost with this issue. So let's hope, because this is the third attempt to fix this issue, that I got it right this time. As you can see, I changed this one also. I actually forgot about that. It's good to have a spare one of these if you own one of these engines, because this is also a known issue. And if these fails, you will be stranded completely. Now I have a spare that I know works, and this one. But once again, I have been throwing quite many parts of this one at this one to fix this problem, which is something that I normally really dislike to do. But lucky for me, the parts are really cheap on this one. Like this. This is off, giving me some more access to this thing down here. Oh, this is quite interesting. These clamps are not clamps that can be opened up and reused. Are these original from the factory? It doesn't got a lot of kilometers on the clock, remember? So maybe we are dealing with a original thermostat in there. That would be something, right? Of course, coolant will come out when I remove this. I'm just going to try to remove these two bolts and pull this out, and then leave those clamps in, because it's fun if they are original. Maybe some of you will know. A lot of coolant will come out, of course, until the level is below this point. So I'm just going to put in a bucket underneath. This car got 80-something thousand kilometers on the clock, so it's definitely a low miler, which leads me to believe that it's a possibility that this is the original clamps and maybe the original thermostat in there. I really hope to find a thermostat that is stuck open. It would really explain a lot of things, I think. Also the drivability issues when heating up, because I think normally the choke system will slowly decrease the amount of fuel pushed in after starting up. And if the engine is just cooling at its highest capacity, it will probably be a little bit too cold for that. It will also explain why I have bad fuel economy, but I'm a bit impressed how good it drives being on choke all the time, if that's the case. That's the thermostat. I don't think it's stuck open. So at first glance, there's nothing really wrong with this, but I rigged up this experimental thing, and I'm going to do some testing, because this is my best theory, and I was just expecting to see a completely stuck open valve, to be honest, or thermostat. This is the new thermostat. This is opening at 82, by the way. The old one is an 88, so actually it's supposed to, so it should be running hotter with this one. But let's just see, because maybe it gets stuck when it opens, or opens too early and then closes up really slowly. Maybe the engine is completely cold right now, so it could maybe make sense. Gonna lower this down. Whoop! It's 63 degrees at the moment, as mentioned. And then I'm gonna turn this heater on so I can to see if it changes anything. So at 82 degrees, this one should open. At 88, this one should open. And as a matter of fact, can you see that? It's already opening. The other one is definitely not opening yet. It will open slowly, of course, and be probably fully open at 88. But this one over here, the old one, is actually quite a lot open already. At 76 degrees. I'm actually unsure whether it opens at the selected degree or will start or be fully open at that degree. Would expect it to actually open at that degree, because you want the engine to be running as hot as possible without overheating, of course. Well, simply speaking, this one is now fully open at 82 degrees. It's totally open. The other one is also opening up now, which is supposed to be, because it's 82. This one is 88, so it's actually not even reached its opening temperature. But yeah. So it looks like the old one is definitely opening quite early. Let's see what happens when I remove them from the heater. Just want to see if they close up quickly enough. Let's see. The new one is already closed, and now that was really quickly, but take a look at the old one. It is totally open. I'm just gonna let it stand there for a minute and see what happens, but I think I found my issue. It's opening early and it's not closing up again. So it will just be overcooling like crazy. Especially now that it's really cold. That's for the fun of it. See what kind of temperature we are at. 35 degrees on the housing at the heating element in there. It should be firmly closed now, that's for sure, like the other one. The other one is slightly colder actually, but still. And it's, 5 minutes later. Let's just for fun check the temperature to begin with. 22. It's still a little bit hotter than room temperature, but yeah. But the thing is, it's still open. Do you see that? It's just not closing up. It was closed when I took it out, so it's gotta return eventually, especially now when it's really cold. But this thermostat is definitely not doing what it is supposed to be doing. That's for sure. You know what? I think I got the issue sorted now, and probably we'll get heat in the cabin and decent fuel economy back, because it's probably choking all the time. Whoop! Let's install this. So I can fill in some coolant again. That's it. Testing time. Out on the test drive, it's completely dark outside and very, very cold. I think it's -4 or 5 degrees. I've been driving around for a bit, and the heater is nice and toasty. It's not brilliant, but it's a million times better than before. If it's better on fuel, I won't know yet, because of course I will have to do some driving to test that. But I wouldn't be surprised if this will help, because I really think it was running on choke all the time. So let's hope that I have fixed the problem. And thank you for watching, and good night. See you in the next one. Bye bye.